Give you our starting lineup. Michael Gillis going to start on the pole here. Coming out of Clever, Missouri in the number 33 machine on his outside is going to be Hunter Stutzman in the 668 coming all the way from Highlandville, Missouri. The lights are out. We're ready to get green flag racing as we make our way around the track here. Dean Bell in the number 30 machine coming out of Springfield, Missouri on his outside. Going to be the 12M of Ronnie Maples out of Crane. Yeah, Ronnie Maples cheering section here. And Garrett Thompson in a 929 coming in second last week. Coming in second to brother Kyle Thompson. That's a tough pill to swallow. Talked to him on Facebook this weekend. He said he's going to try to do one better this week. We'll see if he can do it. He's got a lot of others to contend with. We're green flag racing here. Green flag being brought to you by Freedom Bank. Getting that Ozark fiber restart zone. Right off the bat there, Michael Gillis in the lead. Right to his inside, the number 668 of Hunter Stutzman. They're side by side going through 3 and 4. Stutzman gonna try to hang it out just a little bit pace for it. Gillis gonna lead lap number 1 in that number 33 machine. Stutzman in that second spot. Dean Bell, the number 30, in third. Gillis running a 19.793 that last time by. Fastest of any other car. Stutzman running a 19.943. Of course, he slipped up just a little bit coming out of turn number 4, so I expect him to run much faster lap this time by. Michael Gillis running at 18.96, first to dip below that 19-second mark. Watch out, the 929 getting around Dean Bell there for that third spot. Just 0.8 of a second between your first and second machine. Michael Gillis ahead of Hunter Stutzman by 0.7 of a second, that time by another 1.5 seconds back. Garrett Thompson. Garrett gonna try to reel these guys in here as we come to halfway through your Napa Auto Parts Power Ride Midwest Modified Heat Race number 1. Michael Gillis in that number 33 machine out front by over a second now over the 668 of Hunter Stutzman. Gillis looking good and clean out there. Boy, he's got that thing on rails, doesn't he? Stutzman was 1.106 seconds back last lap. This time it's 1.30. Garrett Thompson closing the gap there in that 929 machine, though, as he starts to reel in that 668 machine. He's got 3 laps to go, coming to 2 laps to go here in our Napa Auto Parts Power Ride Midwest Modified Heat Race number 1. Thompson really narrowing the gap. Has got it to under a second this time. Hunter Stutzman narrows his gap as well. Michael Gillis still out front of this heat race number 1. White flag coming out for your leader, number 33 machine of Michael Gillis. A lead in from the start. Hunter Stutzman, Garrett Thompson, your top 3 going back to Dean Bell and Ronnie Maples, rounding out your top 5. Coming off of turn number 4, Michael Gillis out front by a whole second of Hunter Stutzman. Hunter Stutzman going to come in second, Garrett Thompson third. Dean Bell going to round out your top 4. Ronnie Maples finishing in the rear there. Michael Gillis going to take a Napa Auto Parts Power Ride Midwest Modified Heat Race number 1. 0.711 the gap between him and the 668 machine of Hunter Stutzman. Garrett Thompson, the 929, going to come in third. Dean Bell rounding out your top 4. Ron Maples are rounding out the field there. Again, good racing from our Napa Auto Parts. Good racing from our Napa Auto Parts Power Ride Midwest Modified Heat Race number 1. All right, heat race number 2 making their way onto the track now. Starting on the pole for your Napa Auto Parts Power Ride Midwest Modified Heat Race number 2. Eli Muhlenberg in the number 25 machine coming out of Ozark, Missouri. On his outside is going to be the 292 of Kyle Thompson out of Joplin. Inside row number 2 is going to be Darren Bird out of Marionville, Missouri on his outside. Number 33M of Steve Muhlenberg. And starting in the rear there, fourth generation driver, number 21K of Sam Keller. This is his fourth race in that car. We'll see what he could do. He was awful fast in hot laps. I'm a big fat liar. I got my drivers mixed up. Just don't listen to the guy up here in the booth with the microphone. If I sound like I know what I'm talking about, I'm speaking the truth. Anyway, we're looking for that Ozark Fiber restart zone. Green flag being brought to you by Freedom Bank. Green flag, here we go. .292 of Kyle Thompson. Going around that top side, he is your new leader. 33M of Steve Muhlenberg on that top side. Gonna try to go around the 25 as well. Kyle Thompson going to lead lap number 2 here, having some technical difficulties. I'll get it fixed, don't worry. Fast lap from Kyle Thompson there, 292, running at 18.762. Watch out, Steve Muhlenberg in that 33 machine, trying to take a look to the inside here as we come to lap number 3. Looking on the inside, going to try to take the lead here. Thompson, your leader, Muhlenberg in that second spot. Eli Muhlenberg in that number 25 machine. He's running third. Darren Burt and Sam Keller rounding out your field here. Thompson hanging on to a 0.3 of a second lead over the Steve Muhlenberg here. Eli Muhlenberg another 2.332 seconds back. Running a 19.241 last time by. Kyle Thompson just keeps getting faster and faster, 18.678. You can see he's really turned it on. Almost the fastest. Two laps to go here in your Napa Auto Parts Power Ride Midwest Modified Heat Race number 2. Kyle Thompson, the 292 machine, really got it stretched out. Looking at the white flag this time by 292. Kyle Thompson out front of this thing by 0.4 of a second over the 33M of Steve Muhlenberg. Muhlenberg run that bottom line. Everybody run that lower line through 1 and 2. We'll see where they run through 3 and 4. Also going to try to work that bottom. Checkered flag coming out. Checkered flag being brought to you by Wesco Home Furnishings, 819 US Highway 60 in Monett. Kyle Thompson taking the win there. Steve Muhlenberg coming in second. Eli Muhlenberg third. Darren Burt finishing fourth. And Sam Keller rounding out your top 5. Again, Kyle Thompson taking the win there in your Napa Auto Parts Power Ride Midwest Modified Heat Race number 2. Steve Muhlenberg coming second. Eli Muhlenberg in the number 25 machine coming in third. Darren Burt and Sam Keller rounding out your field there. All right, just running one heat race here in your pure stocks. All right, starting on the pole here, the 21H machine of Kevin Yount. Coming all the way from Springfield, Missouri. On his outside is going to be Chris Tonley in that number 71 machine. Lineups brought to you by Midwest Sheet Metals. Sean Coates and Lenny Coates side by side. 34 machine of Sean Coates on the inside. Lenny Coates on the outside. Dale Centers looking for win at number 10. I think I misspoke last week. Said he had a 10 win season already. He just finished 9th win of the year. Cassville, Missouri's Dell Centers inside of row number 3. On his outside is going to be the number 54 machine of Dean Kimberling. Inside row number 4 is going to be Dylan Bowman, the number 69 machine coming all the way from Purdy, Missouri, your current points leader. And on his outside, the 714 of Dustin Isaacs. Green flag being brought to you by Freedom Bank of Southern Missouri. Again, a J&M Pallets and Trucking Company, your official Hot Laps and Heat Race sponsor. We appreciate them very much. Right off the bat, Chris Tonley looking good in that number 71 machine, bringing her down the front stretch. He's going to lead lap number 1. Kevin Yount's going to be a tough 1.113 seconds behind. Lenny Coates ahead of Dell Centers already. Dell Centers fighting off Sean Coates in that number 34 machine, going back to Dustin Isaacs in the 714. Side-by-side action behind your leader, Chris Tonley, out front all by himself. You can just keep the camera on these two battles for second and fourth, rather. Lenny Coates fighting with Kevin Yount in that number 21 machine out front. Dell Centers with Sean Coates. Dell Centers able to get around Coates, and he's looking for more here on lap number 5. 3 laps in the books, 5 to go. Chris Tonley out front in that number 71 machine, almost a whole straightaway lead. Dell Centers looking underneath the 21 machine of Kevin Yount, looking to take away that 3rd spot. Chris Tonley in that 71 machine, 3.7 seconds ahead of Lenny Coates. Coates getting taken over by the 25 machine as they go down the backstretch here. Dell Centers, your new 2nd place. Gonna try to reel on that 71 machine. That's gonna be a tough task with just 3 to go here. Dell Centers in that 2nd spot. Chris Tonley out front. Lenny Coates falls back to that 3rd spot. Good battle shaping up for that 4th spot. Kevin Yount and Sean Coates side by side coming off of turn number 4. Good camera rock. Good camera work being brought to you by Show Me Dirt, of course. White flag coming out for your leader here, the number 71 of Chris Tonley out front of this thing. Our only heat race here from your pure stocks tonight. Tonley with a beautiful looking black and gray with a pink accents. Good looking car. Dell Centers did all that he could, but it was way too late. As Chris Tonley in the number 71 machine is going to take this thing pretty handily. Dell Centers going to come in that 2nd spot. Lenny Coates able to round up a 3rd. It's your call on that 4th spot. Kevin Yount just narrowing out Sean Coates for that 4th position. Chris Tonley doing his thing out front behind him. Some really good racing for 2nd. Chris Tonley winning by 5.465 seconds. Dell Centers coming in that 2nd spot in the number 25 machine. Lenny Coates finishing 3rd. Kevin Yount and Sean Coates, excellent battle, side by side finish. Just 18/100ths of a second between Sean Coates and Kevin Yount there. Again, Kevin Yount finishing in that 4th spot. Sean Coates on his outside. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for what you've been waiting for. It is time for some late models. Yeah, give it up for some late models. I'm excited too. Got 2 heat races here starting on the pole. Due to start on the poles, the number 26P machine of Glenn Powell. On his outside is going to be Kai Blight. Glenn Powell coming out of Nixon, Missouri in that 26P machine. Kai Blight coming from Bunbury all the way from Australia in the number 31 machine. Marvin Forrest going to start that 45 machine in that 3rd spot on his outside. Going to be Eric Perry in the number 22 machine coming all the way from Little Rock, Arkansas. Tyler Kykindle in the 8K coming from Warsaw, Missouri. Going to start inside row number 3. On his outside is going to be Jackson Ertl in the quarter J. And starting in the rear is going to be Sean Eggman in the number 18. Doesn't look like the 26P machine of Glenn Powell going to be able to make it out.
Everybody makes the 8 feature, so don't wreck everybody. Keep it clean, drivers. Keep it clean. We're going to go green this time by green this time.
I'm sure you've probably heard our race director there. We're going to try to keep it clean here as we get to our Ozark 5 restart zone. Green flag, here we go. Right off the bat, Mr. Kai Blight with the powerful lead. You can tell that man is a champion anywhere he goes. Watch out, the 8K of Tyler Kykindle blasting his way. He's already up to second, looking to get around Marvin Forrest here. Kai Blight out front by 2.605 in 1 second. That is outrageous considering we're already running a 15.935 right off the bat. Kai Blight running a 15.935, improves it to a 15.639 that time by. Tyler Kykindle taking over that second spot over Marvin Forrest. Marvin sliding back to that third spot. Jackson Ertl in fourth, and Eric Perry in fifth. Kai Blight already 3 laps in the books. Boy, that is a fast machine in that 31.4 powered machine. Tyler Kykindle back by 5.805. He's already broke away from the rest of the field there as well. Gonna be hard to beat this gentleman in that number 31 machine. Kai Blight running away with this deal. Tyler Kykindle in that second spot. Marvin Forrest and Jackson Ertl fighting for third. Jackson Ertl on the bottom side getting around Marvin Forrest as he makes his way for lap number 5. Your leader already catching up to lap traffic as he's looking at the bottom side of the 18 machine of Sean Eggman. Lapping cars in a heat race, that is just wild. Kai Blight already on his last lap. Here comes your second car. Tyler Kykindle in that second spot. Jackson Ertl, Marvin Forrest. My goodness, lapping over half the field. Kai Blight taking the dominant win here in your dirt super late models. Kai Blight in that number 31 machine running a 15.645. That guy is on fire. Tyler Kykindle in the 8K machine coming in that second spot. Jackson Ertl finishing third in the quarter J. Marvin Forrest rounding out your first half of the field. Eric Perry in the 22 machine rounding out your top 5. Sean Eggman rounding out the field. My goodness, it's going to be hard to beat that fella there. Heat race number 2. Making their way onto the track now. Starting on the pole. This is your 4th generation driver. Spoke to his family in the back there. This is his 4th race in the car. Starting on the pole is going to be the number 21 of Chris Wilhite. Coming all the way from Meeker, Oklahoma, the number 21 machine on his outside is going to be the number 11 of Steve Johnson, coming all the way from Joplin, Missouri. Business owner of Reliable Welding. We appreciate him very much. He does a lot of work around here. Colwell is going to start inside row number 2 out of Aurora, Missouri, and the number 7 machine on his outside is going to be Ryan Johnson in that 7J. Inside row number 3, Steve Steele in the 87 on his outside. Going to be the 98 of Justin Wells. And starting in the rear there, the number 29 of Matt Minzy. Looking for that Ozark Fiber restart zone. Freedom Bank bringing out your green flag. Here we go. Chris Wilhite already going to be in a fight with Cole Wells here as we go through. Down the backstretch, Wilhite, your leader. Golly, he is fast. His family was right. Wilhite coming around the lead lap number 1, the number 21 machine. 16.385 that last time by. Cole Wells running a 16.607. And Justin Wells already up to that third spot, 16.718, coming around for lap number 2. 2 laps in the books here. Wilhite still your leader over Cole Wells. Cole Wells 0.7 of a second back behind in the number 7 machine. Another half a second back to Justin Wells. Justin will go to the inside after winning last night. Good weekend for Justin Wells. We'll see if he can win another one here at Monett Motor Speedway. Chris Wilhite almost into that 15-second land. Running a 16.119 that last time by. Starting to step away from Cole Wells just a little bit. Stretching his lead out to a 1.057 that last time. Adds 0.2 of a second onto it here for lap number 4. Just past your halfway. Cole Wells getting around, Justin getting around Cole. Justin going to start working that high side. Find that moisture up on that top line. Chris Wilhite putting Steve Still a lap down there. Justin Wells in that second spot, almost 2 seconds back. Problems on the 98 machine. He's slow on the top side, going to bring out the caution here. Caution being brought to you by Joplin Lock and Key. Caution coming out here on lap number 3 for the 98 of Justin Wells. 21 of Chris Wilhite, your current leader. Cole Wells moving up to second spot. Ryan Johnson in the 7J will move up to third. Tough break and a round of applause for the 98 of Justin Wells. We'll see if he can get it fixed back up before we head into the feature here. Again, the number 21 of Chris Wilhite Jr. Out front of this thing, Justin Wells dropping out. Was running second at the time, 2 seconds behind the 21 of Chris Wilhite Jr. Cole Wells will assume that second spot. He'll move to the bottom side. Pair of 7s are right behind Chris Wilhite. Ryan Johnson on his outside. Steve Johnson, Matt Menzie, row number 3 there. Steve Still in that 87 machine. 1 lap down. Looking for that Ozark Fiber restart zone or green flag. Here we go. 3 laps to go. Cole Wells getting a little bump. Wilhite right back where he was before, out front here. Wilhite with an 0.8 of a second lead over Cole Wells in the number 7 machine. Ryan Johnson falls back just a little bit. Everybody starts to get a little spread out. White flag coming out for Chris Wilhite Jr. Got that Firebird right there on the front. That is a cool looking machine. Cole Wells dropping back to a second behind. Coming off of turn number 4. Checkered flag being brought to you by Wesca Home Furnishings. Chris Wilhite Jr., your winner. Cole Wells, that 7 machine. Coming in second. Ryan Johnson finishing third. Matt Menzie finishing 4th. And Steve Johnson rounding out your top 5. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the 21 machine of Chris Wilhite Jr. taking the win there in heat race number 2 of your Dirt Super Late Models. Cole Wells coming in second, just 1.409 seconds behind that 21 machine. Ryan Johnson finishing third, Matt Menzie in 4th, and Steve Johnson rounding out your top 5. right, time for your Davis & Sons USA B Modified Heat Race number 1. Lights are out. We're ready to get it on. Starting on the pole is going to be the number 32 machine coming all the way from Pea Ridge, Arkansas. It's going to be Kelly Chick Hicks. On his outside, the 24L of Patrick Lewis all the way from Wellsville, Missouri. Inside row number 2 is going to be Matt Thompson in the number 31 coming from Bentonville, Arkansas. On his outside, it's going to be Trevor Drake in the 7L. And starting in the rear there, Brendan Baum in the number 9 machine out of Neosho, Missouri. And on his outside, Mr. Terry Williams coming all the way from Springfield, Missouri in the number 27. Going to give it a little more roll in. Caution stays on the course. Hey, big thank you to Thomas Towing. We haven't needed him so far. Announcer's curse. Anyway, Thomas Towing, they offer fast towing 24/7 at a competitive rate. If your car breaks down and you need a company you can trust to arrive quickly and provide the help you need, call Thomas Towing at 417-235-3323. Big thank you to Stanfield Sanitation Garbage and Rubbish Removal, family owned and operated by third-generation owners. Celebrating 50 years in business this year, servicing local businesses and communities here in 2024. If you need anything from the Stanfield Sanitation crew, give them a call, 476-5977. All right, again, now the lights are out. Hicks and Lewis, row number 1. Thompson, Drake, row number 2. Brennan Baum and Terry Williams in the rear there. Again, hot laps and heat races being brought to you by J&M Pallet Company. We appreciate those guys very, very much. And we're green flag racing. Thank you, Freedom May. Boy, Drake all over the back bumper of the 24. We are 3 wide for the lead, right through 1 and 2. Kelly Chick Hicks assumes the lead. The number 31 machine of Matt Thompson going to try to take it from him here in turns 3 and 4 and does so. Drake looking to the bottom side. He wants that second spot away from Kelly Chick Hicks. 31 machine of Matt Thompson out front of this thing. Trevor Drake, Kelly Chick Hicks, your top 3. Watch out, Patrick Lewis gets around that 32 machine. Drake challenging for the lead here on lap number 1. 2 laps in the books here. Matt Thompson out front of this thing by 1/10 of a second. Trevor Drake in that second spot. Patrick Lewis and Kelly Chick Hicks, your top 4. Patrick Lewis want to challenge, want to make it a 3-car race for the lead here. 31 a little loose going down the front stretch. Trevor Drake all over the back bumper like a heat-seeking missile following right down the back stretch. Thompson only in front of this thing by 0.3 of a second. Drake with the lead here on lap number 4. Halfway through this thing, Trevor Drake, your new leader. Matt Thompson fighting back from the inside. Patrick Lewis looking for what lane to go in. Who is he going to follow? Patrick Lewis, good run through 3 and 4. Matt Thompson going to try to run that high line, gain some speed back through that moisture. Patrick Lewis doing the same. Trevor Drake out front of this thing here. Going to be 2 laps to go this next time by. Trevor Drake. We're almost side by side for the race lead again, ladies and gentlemen. 31 of Matt Thompson. Just 1/10 of a second. They're going up and banging. Watch out. Thompson loses some momentum. He's been counting laps. He knows this one's the white flag, ladies and gentlemen. Trevor Drake out front of this thing. About to be a 3-car battle for the finish here. Thompson looking for one lane to go. Lewis going to go to the inside. Trevor Drake, Patrick Lewis, we're going to be 3 wide for the lead coming off of turn number 4. They're side by side. Here we go. Your top 3 spin. What an exciting finish, ladies and gentlemen. That is what you're here to see. What a race for the lead, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for our Davis & Sons USA B Modified Heat Race number 1 winner, Trevor Drake in the 7L, earning that one. Matt Thompson and Patrick Lewis getting together right off of turn number 4. It was good, clean racing. Chip, you put that down. Put it down, Chip. Replay being brought to you by Midwest Sheet Metals here. What a good finish to that race. That one's going to go on TikTok and Facebook, all over the place there. Trevor Drake taking the win. Matt Thompson coming in that second spot. Kelly Chick Hicks rounding out your top 3. Terry Williams and Brennan Baum rounding out your top 5 there in your Davis & Sons USA B Modified Heat Race to number 1. Heat race number 2. Boy, I'm going to need about 6 more Diet Cokes and 3 more waters when we get to intermission here. Heat race number 2 lining up here. Starting on the pole is going to be the number 33 machine out of Sparta, Missouri. It's going to be Steve Muhlenberg. On his outside, the 8S machine out of Nevada, Missouri. It's going to be John Sheets. Inside row number 2, the number 21 machine coming all the way from Carthage, Missouri. It's going to be Jackie Dalton starting in that 3rd spot. On his outside, the 23N out of Bolivar, Missouri. That's going to be Kenny Nutter. Starting on row number 3 out of Monett, Missouri, the number 22 machine of Zane McCracken. And on his outside, the number 56 machine of Hoyt Miller. Green flag being brought to you by Freedom Bank, Ozark Fiber, Restart Zone. Let's get it on. Sheets on that top side, gonna assume the lead here. We're 3 wide for the lead, right through 1 and 2. John Sheets, your leader, heading into 3 and 4. Hoyt Miller already coming from the back. He's challenging for that 2nd spot. He'll fall back into 3rd. Jackie Dalton on his top side. Hoyt Miller on the bottom side, looking to get around Steve Muhlenberg here on lap number 1. Hoyt Miller getting around him. Hoyt Miller moves up to that 2nd spot. John Sheets still out front. Sheets out front of this thing by 1.344 seconds over the Hoyt Miller. Maybe problems on the Steve Muhlenberg machine as he falls back to that 4th spot. Jackie Dalton getting him around him on that bottom side. Sheets, Miller, Dalton, Muhlenberg, your top 4. Nutter and McCracken rounding out the field there. John Sheets running at 18.470 that last time by. Hoyt Miller running just behind him in at 18.483. Running about identical lap times. Going to be hard to catch him here. I spoke too soon. 18.171 coming from that 56 Hoyt Miller machine. He's got something figured out this week, ladies and gentlemen. And he's trying to reel in that 8S machine of John Sheets. We are 5 laps in the books, 3 to go here. 8S machine of John Sheets out front. Hoyt Miller in that 2nd spot. Jackie Dalton trying to reel him in. He's another 2.5 seconds back in that 21 car. Visibly, Hoyt Miller looks like he's starting to catch him. 0.8 of a second separate the 56 and the 8S. John Sheets still leading this thing here on lap number 6. Coming to the last lap one more time around for the 8S machine of John Sheets. Still leading your Davis & Sons USA B Modified Heat Race number 2. Hoyt Miller just a half a second back. Can he do it? Can he reel him in? Doing a little fishing. Hoyt Miller going to give it all that he's got. He's on the bottom side. Can he do it, ladies and gentlemen? They're side by side. Sheets with the advantage on that top side. Checker flag being brought to you by Wesco Home Furnishings. John Sheets checking the win there. Hoyt Miller finishing that 2nd spot. Jackie Dalton able to get the 3rd. Steve Muhlenberg finishing 4th, and Kenny Nutter finishing 5th. My goodness, another good one. 8S of John Sheets winning your Davis & Sons USA B Modified Heat Race number 2. Hoyt Miller started to reel him in. He got him down to 0.4 of a second. Gonna be a good feature from your Davis & Sons USRAB Modified. Jackie Dalton finishing in that third spot. Steve Muhlenberg finishing fourth. Kenny Nutter rounding out your top 5. And Zane McCracken rounding out the field. My goodness, what a good night of racing. Great track tonight. We're ready for some legends. I know this is a lot of people's favorite class. I know it's my wife's favorite class. She's in the back there. I know she probably took some pictures. All right, time for your INEX Legends Heat Race number 1. Starting on the pole out of Seneca, Missouri is going to be Phil Berkey-Bile Jr. in that number 57 machine. One-time winner this year. Going to look for his second. On his outside is going to be the 8. What did he change it to this week? 8-3, 85 and a third. I don't know. Zerny Vest. I'm going to have to talk to you after the races here. Zerny Vest starting outside of row number 1 in that 85. I'm just going to call it 85 machine. Brad Sims in the number 70. Starting inside of row number 2 on his outside is going to be the 38 of Dave Smith. Inside row number 3 is going to be 00 of Smoke Metcalf. And Kaylee Smith in the 83 starting on the outside of row number 3. Green flag being brought to you by Freedom Bank. Ozark Fire a Restart Zone. Got that mention in there. Phil Berkey-Bile Jr., your leader here right off the bat, going down the back stretch. Zerny Vest gonna do his best to take it from him. Berkey-Bile out front. Zerny Vest in that second spot. Brad Smith rounding out your top 3. Dave Smith already making it up to that 4th spot. Gonna look to the top side of the number 70 of Brad Smith. Couple cars in the 21 second line up there. Phil Berkey-Bile Jr. and Brad Sims on that number 70 machine. Sims going to take a look to that bottom side. Looking to take that second spot away from Zerny Vest. Phil Berkey-Bile Jr. out front of this thing by 0.8 of a second. It looks a lot bigger when you panned out there, Tombo. That is a good lead for that 57 machine of Phil Berkey-Bile Jr. I just know Mama's watching from work, so we want to give her the best coverage we can here with Show Me Dirt. Show Me Dirt being brought to you by Midwest Sheet Metals. We appreciate those guys very much for being able to do what we do. Show Me Dirt, one of the best in the business here. We couldn't do it without a little help. Just past your halfway point here. Number 57 of Phil Berkey-Bile Jr., your leader. Going down the back stretch, Zerny Vest in that second spot. Dave Smith up to 3rd, getting around Brad Sims there. Lil Bumblebee gonna do it again. I believe he's got 5 laps in the books, 3 to go. Number 70 machine of Brad Sims spinning. We'll see if he can get it back going, and he does. We'll stay green flag racing. I guess I could mention both things. Almost brought you a drop and lock, a key caution, but we didn't. We're going to stay Freedom Bank green flag racing here in INEX Legends Heat Race number 1. Phil Berkey-Bile Jr. coming off of turn number 4. Going to see the white flag. Zerny Vest holding on to that second spot. He's 1 second back. Dave Smith in 3rd. Kaylee Smith in the 83 machine. Up to 4th. Smoke Metcalf in 5th. Tough luck for that 70 machine as you see him there in turn number 4. Spun out once again. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner of INEX Legends Heat Race number 1, the number 57 machine of Phil Berkey-Bile Jr. Zerny Vest coming in that second spot. Dave Smith rounding out your top 3. Kaylee Smith's finishing just outside the podium spot. Mr. Smoke Metcalf. Smoke Metcalf, the 00, finishing a top 5. That 00 machine heading off the track now, 12 years old. Smoke Metcalf. Follow him on Facebook or anywhere you can. He's going to be a good little racer here in the future. All right, INX Legends Heat Race number 2 making their way onto the track now. Starting on the pole. Give me the number 55 machine out of Spokane, Missouri. It's going to be Kenny Foster starting on the pole there on his outside. It's going to be the number 72 machine of Evan Powell all the way from Wheaton, Missouri. Peyton Powell is going to start his number 41 on inside row number 1. Again, out of Wheaton, Missouri on his outside. Able to make it out. Didn't have to work tonight. It's going to be Mike Seitz in the number 11 coming all the way from Monett, Missouri. And your current points leader, the number 1 machine in the rear there. Coming all the way from Spokane, Missouri. Tanner Foster in the 1. Somebody not able to make it out. I believe it was Peyton Pyle in the 41. We're starting way early, but we're going to go ahead and let it happen. Kenny Foster gets this thing started, and meanwhile, we're 3 wide for second. Right behind him, Tanner Foster giving him the little bump. Say, get out there. I need someone to chase down. 3 wide still for that second spot. Tanner Foster assuming that second spot over Evan Pyle and Michael Seitz. Kenny Foster out front of this thing by 0.3 of a second over the number 1 of Tanner Foster. Foster running a 21.184. Kenny Foster out front all by himself, getting to run a 21 flat just about. Michael Seitz challenging for that second spot on the bottom side. Advantage to that bottom side. Seitz moves up to that second position. He's looking at Mr. Tanner Foster for the lead there as he makes his way off of turn number 2. Good run off that bottom side. Has it cut short as Foster moves down the track just a little bit. Tanner Foster in the number 1 machine out front. The number 11, Mike Seitz, is in second. Seitz going to try the outside this time by. Tricking him, going to the inside. Foster on the outside, Seitz on the inside. Drag race down the back, and they keep it. Foster holding on to that lead there. Kenny Foster in that 3rd spot. Evan Powell 4th. Tanner Foster able to extend that lead by just a little bit, half a second over Michael Seitz in that number 11 machine. Tanner Foster out front, Michael Seitz in second. Kenny Foster rather, in 3rd, and Evan Pyle, number 72, the only non-white car out on the track. Three laps to go here in your INX Legends Heat Race number 2. Tanner Foster still out front. Evan Pyle trying his best to run that outside. Tricks himself into going back in. Michael Seitz going to give another shot. Trying to get the lead here. Going to be the white flag this time by Tanner Foster out front of this thing. Michael Seitz just 0.2 of a second behind. Seitz going to take a look at the inside as we go through 1 and 2. Evan Powell going to spin there after just taking that 3rd spot away. Coming off of turn number 4, checkered flag being brought to you by Wesco Home Furnishings. Tanner Foster taking that Wesco Home Furnishings checkered flag. Michael Seitz coming in a very short distance behind, 0.1 of a second behind that number 1 machine. Kenny Foster finishing 3rd, and Evan Pyle had a good race going on. Hey, don't take off Jesse's door. Good run for Tanner Foster there. Exciting racing coming from INX Legends. I don't know what word I just said, but I meant to say INX. I think I put some R's and O's in there. Heat race number 2. Tanner Foster taking the win there. Michael Seitz finishing 2nd. Kenny Foster finishing 3rd, and Evan Powell rounding out the field there. All right, time for some bomber racing. All right, running one heat race here in our bomber class. James DeWitt out of Pineville, Missouri. Gonna start on the pole there in the 930 machine. On his outside is gonna be the number 82 machine out of Neosho, Jesse Parmalee, starting on the outside. Zachary Riddick in the number 32 machine out of Aurora, Missouri. Gonna start inside row number 2. On his outside, Larry Jordan in that beautiful number 10 machine. God bless that car. Inside row number 3 is going to be, this is his real name, Mr. Jack Hammer in the number 14 out of Ava, Missouri. On his outside, Michael Gillison in the number 33. Inside row number 4 is going to be Michael Grosbeck in the 32G out of Flemington, Missouri. On his outside, Mr. Daryl Riddick in the 29. And starting in the rear there, unfortunate with his normal car, he's racing for Josh Paul there in the 82X. It's going to be Evan Clark out of Pine Mill, Missouri. We are Green Flag Racing. Thank you to Freedom Bank. We're 3 wide. Getting around that 14 machine. We're bumping and banging like this is the enduro race. I told you this is why you came. Again, big thank you to J&M Pallet Company, official sponsor of your hot laps and heat races, for bringing us all this exciting action here at Monett Motor Speedway. James DeWitt going to lead lap number 1. Jesse Parmalee, Zach Riddick rounding out your top 3. Top 5 starting to break away from me. The rest of the field there, Michael Grosbeck and Michael Gillis jumping in that top 5. James DeWitt out front big. Couple teammates going to fight for that 6th spot. That's the number 10 of Larry Jordan and Evan Clark in the 82X. Clark with the advantage. A lot of bumping and banging there here for the 2nd spot. 3-car battle for that 2nd spot. Zachary Riddick gets around. He is assuming that 2nd position. Jesse Parmalee and Michael Grosbeck gonna fight for. I spoke too soon because we're 3 wide coming off of turn number 4. Everything I said, just wipe it out. Jesse Parmalee in that 2nd spot. Michael Grosbeck in 3rd. Caution coming out here. I believe somebody is missing something off of their machine. Everybody got all their tires and stuff? Caution being brought to you here on lap number 5. I'm sorry, 5 to go. 3 laps in the books. Caution being brought to you by Joplin Lock and Key. James DeWitt out front of this deal. Jesse Parmalee in that 2nd spot. Parmalee electing to go to the bottom side. That's going to put Michael Grosbeck in the 32G on his top side. 66 of Riddick inside row number 3. We're going to go green flag this time by. Looking for that Ozark Fiber restart zone. Green flag, here we go. Yes, thank you, sir. Ozark Fiber restart zone. What a class this is. We're 3-car battle for 3rd. James DeWitt still out front. Jesse Parmalee doesn't have to worry about anybody else right now. Zachary Riddick was looking to the inside. Michael Grosbeck, rather, looking to the inside of Riddick. He was looking for 3rd. 14 car got a handle on this thing. His name is Hammer. He was looking to go 3 wide for that 4th spot. Unfortunately, the 82X machine of Evan Clark drops out here. Coming to 2 to go. James DeWitt still your leader. Jesse Parmalee right behind him, not that far off. 66 machine of Zachary Riddick in that 3rd spot. 0.6 of a second, but this is between your 2nd and leader. I didn't set myself up very well for that. White flag coming out for the 930 machine of James DeWitt. 6/10 of a second lead still over the number 82 of Jesse Parmalee. 66 of Zachary Riddick. Gonna try to advance one more machine ahead. So is Michael Gillis. Michael Gillis looking to the inside of the 32 machine of Grosbeck. Not gonna be able to complete it. It's gonna be 9:30 of James DeWitt taking the win. A good side-by-side battle for Parmalee and Riddick. Parmalee finishing second, Riddick finishing third. Grosbeck and Gillis rounding out your top 5. That is going to be an excellent feature.
This is going to be a quick turnaround. We're not taking much of an intermission.
Not going to take much of an intermission. You heard them, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, big thank you to Show Me Dirt. Good racing here in our hot laps and heat races. Being brought to you by J&M Pallet Company. We're going to take a short intermission and get right back into racing here. Stretch your legs, listen to some music, get you a hamburger, cheeseburger, hot dog, or a cookie, or a Bologna sandwich. Do what you got to do. We'll see you here in a short time.